Hello, everybody. I'm Delegate Ken Plum. It's January 27th, and I'm reporting to you from my office in Richmond on the day's activities, or the week's activity, I should say, in the General Assembly. Bills are making their way through committee and coming to the floor now for debate. One of the more controversial bills coming to the floor this week is related to HPV vaccination for girls age 12 as a prevention for cervical cancer. Virginia is one of the few states that has that requirement in place, and I'm sorry to say that the bill is making its way through the legislature now that would lift that requirement. It's estimated we could save the lives of 4,000 women with this vaccination. You can be sure that I'm going to vote to keep the vaccination in place. I fear, however, the bill may have passed the House, but maybe we can get it defeated in the Senate. Speaking of the Senate, I was disappointed that the Senate this week defeated a bill that would have lifted the King's Dominion law. King's Dominion law says, of course, that schools can only open after Labor Day. May be convenient for the amusement parks, but it's not very convenient for schools and for parents planning their summers and planning a good educational program. When the bill comes to the House, and a bill has been introduced in the House to eliminate the King's Dominion requirement and allow that decision for school calendars to go back to the local school division, I will be voting to allow local school divisions to set the calendar. That's where those decisions ought to be made. You hear about people coming to Richmond to lobbyists, and sometimes people think about paid lobbyists, but a whole lot of good citizens come to visit us also. Not that lobbyists aren't good citizens, but that ordinary folks come and visit us and talk about what's of interest to them. We were visited this week by a large contingent of people from AARP, including some local Restonians we were happy to see. Reston Interfaith came by, Reston Chamber came by, a number of chambers, including the Dulles Area Chamber and the Loudon Chamber as well. We also heard from retired teachers and were visited by the credit union folks. A lot of visitors this week. One of the more interesting groups that came to see me early in the week was those people who make up the Citizens Defense League. These are the pro-gun people. They still come to see me. They still are polite to me, but they know that they won't really get my vote. The interesting thing about their visit, of course, is that they're all packing heat. They all have a holster on their side, and they all have a gun. It's legal, you know, in Virginia to carry a gun as long as it's not concealed. So we had more than 100 people in the General Assembly building on Monday wearing their guns and talking about how gun owners need additional rights. The bills that generate the most communication from local citizens now is, interestingly enough, a Sunday hunting bill. It's against the law to hunt on Sunday in Virginia, an old tradition that probably came out of our religious concern years ago, but now is a concern to people who want to be able to get out in the woods without having bullets whizzing by. People who want to walk, people who want to hike, people who want to observe the birds and so on. I'm going to vote to keep that ban in place because, you know, as you say, the hunters have 6 days to hunt. Some other people who like to get out and enjoy the woods like Jane and I do want to have a day to do that where we feel safe. This week in Richmond, join us next week as we bring you up to date what's happening in Richmond. The trailer on the end will talk about how you can get in touch with me. Hope to hear from you. Thank you.